And earlier I spoke about Anthony Albanese's glass jaw, but it turns out he's not the only one in this government. Climate Change and Energy Minister Chris Bowen, he's the one who loves to talk up his wind farm plans and the net zero agenda, but he's not doing it on Elon Musk's social platform X anymore. He's quit X, saying it is, quote, no longer the place for informed and respectful conversation. Instead, he's opted for rival newcomer Blue Sky. Well, let's talk about that now. To discuss this is Verve Communications' Prue MacSween. Prue, great to have you on the program. Do you think Chris Bowen was just tired of being schooled because they have those wonderful community notes on Twitter where if you post something that's wrong, you get called out? Do you think he was just tired of that?
Well, I think he's been spreading misinformation for so long on Twitter and everywhere. But I have a theory that the guy was pushed. I actually believe that the party faithful, the party leaders, looked at him and know that he is so unsavoury to the voters. And so I think that maybe they've disappeared him. Maybe they said, mate, get out of the way. We don't want to hear from you. So, I mean, whether he's in Blue Sky or anywhere, I mean, they have got, a very small percentage of followers. I know that they picked up a bit after the Trump election, but in terms of X and what have you, they're really diminished. So, yeah. I mean, the guy's full of misinformation. I mean, if he's worried about truth and what have you and respect, well, he's never shown the public any respect for the lies and the policies he's inflicted on us. Yeah,
well, which includes, where's our $275 off our power bills,
exactly.
Prue? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's move on to Argentina, which is a fantastic country that I'm hoping to visit one day. Just over a year ago now, the eccentric Javier Milei called a stir when he was elected Argentinian president. At the time, the country had inflation of more than 120% per annum and interest rates of 111% per annum. But since he's come to power and he's taken his chainsaw to government, inflation and interest rates have fallen dramatically. Government jobs have been slashed. Woohoo! And Milei ended his first year more trusted than his previous three predecessors. Now, with Trump about to take off to the U.S. and the UK's left-leaning Labour Party languishing, are we seeing a global shift? Does this guy Milei, they all said he was far right, but is he really where politics is heading now, Prue?
Totally, James. I mean, we look at the 6 EU countries that are now far right. We're looking at the Netherlands. I think that people have woken up that these woke socialist governments who really have no ability to, manage economies, all they can do is spend, have had enough. People have really had enough. COVID was a really damaging impact on every economy. We had then the net zero fantasy, the energy policies that are crippling people. And we need strong, realistic leadership. And this is what Dutton's going to face, of course, that he's going to inherit this basket case that we have here. Lee Kuan Yew once said that we were, the basket case of Asia, and I think that's what we are. And it's going to be a huge challenge for Dutton to fix the joint.
But I want to ask you, on this question of the democracy in the center, where people are moving, one of the things we keep hearing is from the people who are defending the old consensus is that somehow this is anti-democratic if people want different things than what they're offering. But it seems to me like the old consensus, sort of the one that we had almost from World War II to today, that stopped providing people with what they wanted. You cannot blame people for wanting something different when their living standards are going backwards, when they have, to compete with migrants for housing and all sorts of other things. It seems like the compact is broken and we need a new compact.
Of course we do. And I think the people have had enough. There is an uprising against the woke, the identity politics. We are feeling and experiencing what our parents did during the Depression almost. We're getting that way where everybody's doing it so hard that you have to let ideology go and you have to think about practicalities. And I think there's a strong movement of publics now just wanting leaders who are strong, who are decisive, who are not going to capitulate to loud minority groups. And that's what we need.
Absolutely.